You talk to any economist, and there are many in this room, and most will agree that all our numbers are going in the wrong direction. If you were listening to what Hanid Mukhtar and looking at his presentation, doing well, and in relative terms and in absolute terms, it's much worse than has been over the last few years. That is population. Pakistan in 25 years, literally 25 years, is going to be the third most populous country in the world. And I think that's scary. It's going to be a poor country, despite what the finance minister promises and others have promised earlier, because it's going to be matched with countries which have far higher per capita income, far higher productivity, and that's going to be in the world of competition where we compete with other countries, we are going to be left behind. Next slide, please. There are two graphs here, well, three. One is consistent with showing, I won't tell you what they're showing, but if you've been following the discussion, you'll know that one growth rate is growing at 2.55, and the other has been minus 1% in 2019-2020, minus 0.5% in 2022-23. So it gives you a sense of where the economy is and where the population growth is. Next slide, please. This is a graph which has been circulated and published by the State Bank of Pakistan. It tells you where our GDP growth is going over the last 40 years, and it's only in one direction. There's been ups and downs, and there's been ups and ups, but the overall direction is negative, down. It's coming down, and it's somewhere near 3% now, which is something that we need to be very conscious of and take cognizance of. Next slide, please. Unemployment today is 7.1%, and we know it's underreported. I don't believe those numbers. It could be 20%, it could be 18%, but what matters is that it's the highest in 21 years. Even if we take the 6.23%, this 2021 is wrong, it would be 2001. If we take the last 20 years, we get a sense that unemployment is growing, whether it's 7% or 8% or 9%, it's growing. And what's troubling is that of the 6 million people who are unemployed, very high, 70% are illiterate. And the highest unemployment is in that region which we used to call the demographic dividend, which is now turning into a demographic nightmare. Those aged between 15 and 29, the highest unemployment is in that age. As we've heard, 3.5 million or 4 million Pakistanis enter the job market every day, with a growth rate of around 2.5% to 3%, 2 years negative. Those people are not going to be employed. Furthermore, the real wage of workers of Pakistan has seen a 20% fall in just the last 3 years. That's Dr. Hafiz Pasha's data. Next slide, please. So when we talk about poverty, and we usually talk about income, but if you look at the Human Development Index of the United Nations, we see that Pakistan has gradually fallen in the last 5 years. 161st, which wasn't something to be proud of in 2020, 164th in 2023, and now we are 168th lowest in 2025. These are trends which are extremely worrying. I mean, there's something that we need to do something very substantial about. Next slide, please. Economists in this room, Ali Chima being one and others, we talk about the notion of property rights. When we talk about growth, we talk about private capital as well, which the finance minister spoke about. Property rights are central to how an economy functions. And for that, a judiciary is central. If you see the IMF report last week, it talks about the judicial sector. I won't read it out because maybe some judges here might take offense. But this is from the IMF report. It shows that the judiciary is consistently identified as one of the most corrupt state functions. In an economy where property rights, the private sector, where international juridical concerns matter, a judiciary which is seen as being the way it's seen here is something which is very worrying. Perhaps the 27th Amendment will fix that, but I don't know. Next slide, please. Here's a Pakistan investment, something which investment to GDP ratio, something that Hanid also showed. What's important here is the investment to GDP rate is the lowest it's been since 1973. It's 12.9% here. It was about 12.7% at that time. So in 50 years, our investment to GDP rate has been falling. There have been ups and downs, but consistently today, it's the lowest it's been in 50 years. Next, please. Next slide. There's a lot of talk about the new economy and IT, and I come from a university where computer science and IT, and so does Ali, is very important. But these facts will surprise you. Earlier today, Mr. Ehsan Iqbal also spoke about human capital. Today we are half a century behind where South Korea was 50 years ago. Our secondary enrollment rates are at the level where South Korea was in 1972. Our tertiary rates, 1979. We can't talk of a new economy, of IT, of computer growth with these sorts of numbers. Finally, my last slide. Next slide. Where are the women? The Global Gender Report last year showed that we were second last amongst a list of 148 countries. The report this year, 2025, shows that we are the lowest amongst all countries that it has recognized. There's been a debate about the data, about the methodology, but I think it's something that we need to be clear about. And importantly, economically we are ranked in the lower middle income countries, and 16 countries are much poorer than Pakistan's, but the Global Gender Report shows that they are better than us. So it's not just about money, it's not just about income, it's about numerous other things. Our female labor participation, as has been shown earlier as well, is very low, and the access to finance is a major issue. So finally, what does one do about this? There's a lot of talk about Vietnam, Bangladesh, Iran, Indonesia, and even in the brief which was shared with us earlier before we came to this conference, these countries were mentioned. If there's one thing this government needs to do, and there's only one thing that this government needs to do, is put women first. Whether that's education, whether that's employment, whether it's security, whether it's finances, in everything. If women are put first, you will find that the population rate will tumble. You will find that the economy will grow. You will find that Pakistan will become a society, a country where we don't talk about decline, where we talk about progress. Thank you very much.